Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM WRDN. Good morning once again. I'm Brian Winnikins as we continue our week-long spotlight with the Weiss family and the Weiss Family Farms. Thank you to Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin for our monthly Dairy Farm Family Spotlights. And Noah Weiss joins us once again today. And we are going to continue our conversation, but this time we're going to talk about the milking and how they not only do milking, but even protect the milk. And Noah, thank you for once again joining us. Okay, when someone comes to the farm maybe for a visit, the first thing they might see if they look into the milking parlor is, wow, there's a big giant merry-go-round here for the cows. Tell us about this. Is different than what a lot of people might think.
Yeah, so in 2017 we decided to build a 50-cow rotary for our farm. We built it mainly for cow comfort and for employee comfort also. But so the cows enter on one side and we prep them, get ready for milking. We attach the milker and the way they go, and by the time they get close to the end, they're done milking already.
And so what you mentioned cow comfort is part of it because of what they're standing on, and is also part of it they're kind of going for a ride. They might fall asleep here. Well, enjoy the ride.
They do seem to enjoy it. The big reason why I think they like it the most is they have their own little individual stall, so they're not competing with the cow next to them. It's also, like we were talking of ventilation before, it's got great ventilation in there, and with all the sides, doors open, and so we have good ventilation through there. You can always tell they're not stressed. We have so many compliments when people come that they never poop on the parlor. Well, usually a good sign of a cow being comfortable is when they don't go to the bathroom in a parlor. So it's a good sign.
So you mentioned, okay, so there's different stations for the milking, or explain what happens. Okay, so the cow's gotten in. So now, what's the first thing that happens as we get ready for milking?
So we have to stimulate the cow to release the milk, and so we have to stimulate her by pulling on her teats or stripping it. We call it stripping some milk out. So we detect for mastitis, check for abnormal milk, I should say, and then while we're doing that, we're stimulating her, and then we spray a liquid on it, a chemical for disinfectant, so the teat's clean, and so the milk is clean when we start harvesting it. So that was the first one. The second step is that we wipe the chemical off, and we attach the milker. So when we take a towel, a clean towel. Every cow gets her own towel, and we clean each teat, and we apply the milker.
And so now the milker's on. So now we're just going on for a ride. Is there a third station or a station after that to take the milker off, or does it automatically come off?
So we have little sensors in our milking units, and so that knows at a certain point how much the cow is producing. That it will automatically come off when the cow is done. So we aren't pulling on a teat when there's no milk there. So you can do damage if the milker stays on for too long without being milked there, it will damage the teat. So that's why we have sensors on each milking unit to make sure that it comes off in time.
That's to protect the cow as well. And we're talking with Noah Weiss this morning from Weiss Family Farms. Okay, so we're done, but how does the cow know, okay, the ride's over, you'll have to come back later?
So it's kind of a training thing, when the first time they ever come on the parlor, they have to get kind of trained to it. And first they're scared, right? Like anything with anyone doing anything new for the first time. And after the first day or so, they know it's comfortable, it's not going to hurt them anymore, and this is what they're meant for. They need to let that milk out. The cows, they have pressure if they don't get milk. So they know when we get to the end of the rotary that they're close to the end, and they just back right off, and they come again in another 8 hours.
And now do they just automatically come back, or do you have to kind of go get them?
So in our system, we go get them. In other systems, you don't have to. They have stationary robots where the cows can decide when they want to go. But in our system, we do it every 8 hours. So every cow we know is getting milked at 8 hours, and we feel that that's an adequate amount of time for a cow to need to get milked 3 times a day.
The other big thing that you do here on the farm to keep the milk safe, you guys do a lot of cleaning, and you're telling me each cow gets their own individual towel. Cleaning and laundry sounds like those are the two big chores here.
So we're state and federally inspected just like all dairy farms. and that's part of the deal. Is we have to have clean milking area, clean area for the cows. All the milk needs to be clean, free of bacteria. The milk needs to be cool in a bulk tank and be shipped at the correct temperature. And everything else that milk touches has to be clean because we want to sell a good product.
There's a lot of stainless steel here.
Yep, the stainless is a big thing, right? Because it doesn't rust and it doesn't hold bacteria well. It cleans easy, and we spend a lot of our time in between milkings cleaning. But that's what we need to do too. Is we need to keep everything clean.
I would think that, okay, you're milking 3 times a day, but it's the cleaning in between each milking that probably takes up most of your day.
Yeah, we milk for 6 hours, and we take about 2 hours in between to keep everything clean. But that's, like I said, it's important for the state and federal inspectors, and we want our farm to be a good representation of what dairy farms are in Wisconsin and are in the U.S.
And so where does your milk go then? When is it picked up every day, and where does it go?
So our milk gets picked up every day. It goes to O'Galley, Wisconsin, at O'Galley Cheese Factory. Gets made into Parmesan and Asiago mainly, and couple other cheeses, but mainly it's their parm that they're known for.
Is that a nice thing? I guess as a dairy farmer, you know exactly where your milk's going and exactly what it's being made into.
Yes, it's O'Galley's a great company to be partnered with, and we've known they've been they made well-known cheeses over the years, and it's always good to know that all of our work that we put into making the milk with the cows, that it's getting put to a good use and getting served around the country.
That is Noah Weiss with Weiss Family Farms, and tomorrow we're going to continue our conversation with Don Weiss as well, learn about some of the things going on at the farm. Not only is this a dairy farm, this is kind of a research farm. We're going to talk a little bit with Don about that. We're actually going to spend 2 days talking with Don about that, but we'll have more on that here coming up tomorrow. Again, thank you to Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin for supporting these Dairy Farm Family Spotlights here on WRDN.